We can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings better. Switch on to 94.3 Royal FM.
Haven't we literally come to the end of the year?
I know. Unbelievable.
And that's why we're sweeping things and switching them around to have Ephraim in this hour.
I have a question. We're coming to the end of the year. How many times have you stepped in the gym this year?
You're asking me or just?
I know I do. I know you go to the gym.
This year.
I used to.
This year, all my
You have
gym. This year, all my gym has been in the house.
So you have not stepped in the gym, or you have stepped in. So if you step in, if your house is the gym, then you have stepped in the gym every day. So he has a gym in the house.
So what exactly does he gym? How does he gym in the house though?
I
ain't getting it.
They're exotic, sophisticated gadgets.
Yes,
Call
he
the
has been
bed.
talking about of getting that gadget where he puts on the door and then he swings. He has been talked about. Like,
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
should get that
He
before
probably
his-
started last year December. So me, I'm just like, we're getting to the end of the year,
Yeah.
and what have we done with the year?
That question can be a little bit disturbing because I ask myself that a lot. I'm like, the year has come to an end. What exactly have I done? And
I
for me,
can
that's
tell
a
you
very
one of my biggest
frustrating question for
achievements.
me a lot.
One of my biggest achievements this year has been to cut down on my expense.
And have you?
Yeah, I did. Dramatically.
So for
Yeah.
me, I
like
did
I do not think about trying to buy anything. It's I think one of those years
Hey, by the way.
I've not thought about buying things.
Yeah, no, just
for me, I think I did a 360 turnaround totally, and I'm very proud. I'm proud of myself. I cannot say I'm not. It was a 360 crazy madness turnaround, like anyone would not do. I mean, but yeah, it is what it is.
2024 is the year you came to Rwanda.
Yeah,
Returned.
returned.
Okay, returned.
This is this
I've
one.
been here
The
before.
prodigal
Legends.
daughter.
I'm a legend from here, man. There's nothing like
With two
prodigal
G's.
daughter returns.
Hey, with two G's and 4 D's. Ha!
I'm also just remembering
Yeah.
this might be the only year I have not gone to a car selling website.
and I hope, but I am gonna do that. I can't help it. I will do that. I'm avoiding to go to those websites a million times these days. I'm looking at them. I'm like, don't look
I
there.
know, when you think about the entrepreneurship, I know a lot of people are like, thank you, Jesus, because there was a time in the year that things were, for most entrepreneurs, things were tight.
Yeah.
Towards the actually on the tail end of summer, things were tight, but then it picked up. I think a lot of entrepreneurs have a little bit of cash in their pocket. They're gonna buy Christmas gifts for their children.
You think so?
I have some faith.
It's
People
been a
have
tough
cash
year
in
for
their pockets.
entrepreneurs, though.
Yeah, it has. Like I said, on the tail end of, I think Marburg really,
I was just about to say that.
it really humbled. I think it reminded us what COVID could do. And I think
It was
we
just
need
a
to,
bad
and
reminder.
I think it was a reminder that we need to take care of ourselves. And I think health is wealth. And that's why even I started by asking the question about going to the gym.
Yeah.
Because, and now that's on a macro level, but even on a micro level, if you fall sick, you can't earn. I mean, there are some organizations that can give you sick leave, but it also has a limit, you know. So I mean, it was just a reminder. I think this year was a reminder of why it's important to take care of yourself.
Do you see 2025 in the world of entrepreneurs way any different than 2024?
Most definitely. When you end a year with money, there's a way the new year is always going to be better. I mean, I don't want to be a prophet and say that the world is going to stay the same, all things considered, or it's going to get better, because you never know what happens, what tomorrow holds. But I mean, when you look at the trends globally, so the global economy benefits from stability. And a lot of elections globally, not just in the US, were happened
We had
this
an
year.
election here in Rwanda.
Yeah, we had it in Rwanda, we had in Botswana, there
We
was
had a lot of
in
elections.
the US, across the world. So it's
Is it the same year even the UK?
Yes, Tama.
Yeah.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
born on
yeah.
this year.
Yes,
Yes.
same year.
So what stability, global stability also, if you're an investor,
There's a president being impeached somewhere.
no, that one he caused his own problems. There's a meme I saw that, and I don't know if it's. I feel like it was a bit harsh, but it was saying that if you're struggling, don't forget you're the one who got yourself there, which I feel like is not entirely true.
Now that's harsh.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not entirely true, but I think also to a certain degree there's some elements of truth in it that majority of our lives, other than circumstance that happens to us, but majority of our lives, I would say maybe, again, coming back to Parado's law of 80-20, 80% of our life circumstances were brought on by our decisions and our actions. And I think that certain leader who got himself impeached, he got himself to that juncture of his career. And so I'm like, even just in general, talking about entrepreneurship globally, we're optimistic. We're optimistic, and so that there's it's a good time to make money. I mean, for the first time in history, there's somebody worth $400 billion.
Just because someone won an election and they were very close friends and business was thriving.
But
in
that's
a
what
microsecond.
so that's what I'm trying to tell you. At the end of the day, capitalism rewards value, and so people look at Elon Musk and his connections as valuable to their interests. So they're like, let's put more money in his businesses because his businesses are gonna make us more money. And so that's you can't fault him for playing his cards right and winning. Yeah. So I would ask, what are your plans for the new year when it comes to making money?
It is the question I actually wanted to ask, and I think we could share the question because I wanted us to end of year. So many people are thinking, oh, it's coming to the end of the year. I need to rest and reset. To some entrepreneurs, and like end of year, I need to fix everything that has not been fixed, so I start the year stronger. And I don't know which is the better option to take, to fix the year until the 31st, things that you've not been able to do 2024, so you start 2025 stronger, or whatever did not work out, leave it, rest, reset, and then come back 2025 stronger.
Juliana, what do you think?
Well, I believe I always believe in restarting. That's for sure. And I believe that if 2024 has not worked out, or whatever has happened in 2024, you need to get into another year on a different, like a fresh start, a fresh slate altogether. Plan accordingly, have your things in order and say, this is what I'm going to work towards in 2024. I'm going to work on this. And that actually can give you a good picture to look at the year.
I wanna share a story. I've shared this story before, I think on the podcast Living Entrepreneurship by Salty. But I want to share it in this space. I don't think Juliana you've heard this story. So there were two gentlemen. It was in a village somewhere in Europe, and there were two gentlemen, and both of them were in the business of supplying firewood to the village. So the village was surrounded by a forest. So they would go and cut down trees and chop up the wood and supply the villagers. And the business, they were in neck and neck competition. I mean, at the end of the day, you two have, it's a duopoly, as they say in business speak. It was a monopoly, but of two players. So you're sharing one big pie, but still, it was fierce competition. And then one day, I mean, these guys had been doing this for a good 6-7 months. Then one day, one of the businessmen decides to take a break. And by taking this break, he decided to take the break to go sharpen his blade.
Okay.
And find a more efficient way to supply wood. But the process of doing this, he had to shut down his operations for a good 4 or 5 months. Now, what does that do? It leaves the other businessman with a virtual monopoly.
Yes.
The guy made money. It was too much. He even had to bring his son. His son was in the business. He pulled the son out of school. The first guy
For just the 4 months?
Yeah. He had. I mean, he was
You know
making.
what can
Like,
happen
you think
in
about
4
it.
months? I mean, they were the only two.
They were the
Damas
only
and-
guys who was. I mean, he was the only person supplying wood, so he didn't have the manpower because this is not a scalable business. This is someone who has to go chop a tree. But in the process, his saw was getting blunt, and so the efficiency was dropping. That's why he had to bring on his son. The other guy kept his son in school. The son learned arithmetic, learned how to keep the books, all of that. Same time, he's sharpening his blade. After the 4 months, he comes back. Now, mind you, the guy is coming back to find this person has a virtual monopoly. Now, what
He's
happens?
taking on most of the clients.
Exactly. But guess what happens? When you have a virtual monopoly, you tend to find that you are complacent. You don't take customers' orders seriously. He was delivering late. And obviously, people were unhappy, but they had no other option. So when this new guy came, he has a new saw. He has sharpened, or it's the old saw, but he has sharpened it. His son has been educated, so the son knows how to scale the business. And they find a way to hire more workers and do it in a more efficient way. It didn't even take 2 months. He had completely run the other guy out of business.
Yeah.
And the reason why I told that story is because it's a story that is told to talk about the importance of,
Taking a rest.
and also not just taking a rest, but knowing how, when and how to take a rest. And so it's not a blanket statement to say that everybody needs to take a break this December. If you have momentum and you're pushing and you understand that you need to sharpen your saw, which is your mind, you can figure out a way to find a balance, not completely unplug, because the word reset is not a good thing in business. Resetting in business is not a good thing. Refreshing is maybe a good thing. Resetting, so let's take, for example, your computer, or let's take if it's a browser. When we talk of resetting your computer versus refreshing your browser, those are two different things. The outcomes are different. When you reset your computer, you even lose data. But when you refresh, you're just reloading the page so that it can load better. Or you can get new information. So the same thing, I would say refresh. Give yourself this time to refresh, connect with family, friends, even with yourself, with your maker. Start the year strong. Like I said, we are left with how many days?
Till the end of the year?
Like 2 weeks, no?
Yeah, 2 weeks to be precise, really.
There's really not much you're going to change in
I
the
think it's
next
less
2
than 2
weeks
Yeah.
that you couldn't have changed in the other 50 weeks that were there in the year. So for me, the 2 cents is, unless you have things that are in the pipeline, take a break. Yeah. Because even the people you are writing emails to, chasing payments from, they're also going to...
They won't pay?
There's a huge possibility.
I'm sorry if you left last week without your payment, my G. Yeah. Unless you serve,
This week is actually more tough.
unless you pray and you serve a living God, God can perform miracles. But don't forget, the 15th was just the
2 days
16th
ago.
was yesterday, so people paid the
It was on Sunday, actually.
15th was Sunday. So guys,
yesterday's when
filed, so people
Paid taxes yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cash flow is then also don't forget this 13th month this month for some organizations. So they're also looking for ways to pay that
fill up
extra
the envelope,
bonus
yes. Yeah.
for the workers. So my guy, you are the last
And there's
priority.
staff party.
This actually makes it
end
more
of year.
scary.
Yeah, I know. We have to call a spade a
That's the
spade.
reality.
That's the reality. So it's called living entrepreneurship. We live this thing. It's real. And so I'm like, the reality is, if you didn't collect your money last week,
For January.
you just have to wait until next month.
That's a hard one.
I know.
Very,
Extremely hard.
very hard to take in. And if they've not announced the staff party yet,
It's
forget
not happening.
it.
No,
It's-
they
it's-
still
it's
have-
not
Actually not
coming.
there.
They
Forget.
they still have.
Today is 17th, and they haven't told you which date the staff party.
But you guys are
Because people are
controversial.
taking leave around Friday.
You guys are controversial. How do you tell people to look for new jobs if the employer did not organize a staff party?
That is
Yeah,
it. You're
they-
not
they're
very
The
not-
person,
they're not
no.
honoring
Let's.
you.
You guys are talking from employee perspectives. Let's talk about the employer. If you didn't work and hit your targets that year, and your employer doesn't have the money to throw an end of year party, and he has still kept you in your job, you should actually be more grateful and keep quiet.
my friend.
No, let's talk about it.
Even
No,
a tea party can be a party.
my G. Truth be told, you are. Let's say you are in sales or business. Now we call sales business development. You're in business development. You have not
You
hit
guys have-
any single
you have
target
fancy- you've
for
put
any quarter
fanciness
this
in
year.
in this,
And you are like, they didn't throw an end of year party for me. What have
But what
you
have you
done?
brought also
Exactly.
Have you seen people celebrating anniversaries?
when they have not produced?
Produced-
No children
No
involved.
fruits out of 1 year. but must it be there anyway?
No.
Stop being harsh to people.
No, you see, that's the thing. If we're gonna make end of year parties ritualistic, what are we celebrating? Because you see, that's the same thing with birthday. Okay, birthdays we're celebrating life. Anniversaries you're celebrating
Life
the union you have. But the reality is, you don't just wake up every day and throw a party.
Yeah, even when you've been abused domestically, and then you cut cake.
No, but you
for
see,
the
normally,
anniversary.
let's be honest. If someone is in an abusive relationship, we've been talking about GBV, right? If someone is in an abusive relationship, how often do they view their anniversary as a time of joy? Very rarely.
But why are you?
But
Because
Why?
parties
Why?
represent a celebration.
Yes.
Yeah, but a party will
Why
be
are
eaten.
you in an abusive relationship? What are you doing to yourself by getting stuck in that kind
No,
of
but you see,
situation?
now you want to be controversial and you're trying to now blame the victim. But that's
No,
like saying, no.
sometimes I blame the victims because they victimize themselves.
No, this is my point.
Get out of that
Now let's talk about the
relationship.
abusive relationship of a company. You have an employer and an employee. Who is abusing the other? Who is abusing the other?
The one who takes in the disrespect.
Really?
I think so.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. When I look at an employer deciding to hire someone,
If an employer chooses to retain staff who is not performing, the employer has chosen.
to be in that abusive relationship,
If
Who's
the
more
employee
abusive? It's the
stays
employer
in a
who's
company
actually-
where there is no staff party.
Okay, that was a joke,
no,
by the way.
but seriously, if
That
they're in
was
a
supposed
staff,
to be a joke.
you know,
I
but
didn't
you
want
you
people
say
to
you
take
say
it.
it as a joke. Were you laughing?
No.
People took it seriously. Me, I took it seriously. I'm like,
It
there
was
was no
supposed to
staff
be a
party.
joke.
I'm leaving.
But
I'm
it
leaving my
was-
own company.
But also, you're leaving your own company. Now imagine what your employees are doing. So you ask yourself as an employee.
Yes.
What have you done? What have you brought on the table? That's like normal sense. Then it's just common sense. If you see you haven't brought nothing on the table, really,
Let me
then
give
do
you-
not lament about
Let me give
end
you.
of year party.
Let me give you a simple example. Okay, so we have.
You're not entitled. The problem is we have too much entitlement.
So I was coming to my point, right? So we have these aspects, and I'm not going to use management theory and terminology. There's something called a cultural model by a man called Hofstede. Now, this cultural model, it shows you that in different countries, people have different expectations of different things. Unfortunately, I feel like in Rwanda, we are picking on a culture that we are expecting staff parties when we have not worked in the year, just because it's like 13th month we are entitled to 13th month. 13th month is a method to give a bonus to the team for the company hitting its general targets.
But also, let me be controversial, Ephraim.
You
You
go
as a
ahead.
company, I'm always like that. You as a company, don't you have a budget?
Yes,
Regardless
we
of
do.
how people have delivered or not delivered.
Yes.
Is there no budget meant for certain things like
Budget
But-
for motivating.
but you see,
team building?
yes.
No, so
Team building.
To get your employees deliver
let me
better.
explain to you. Let me explain to you guys. Actually, where's the staff party for Royal FM? No, I was not invited.
Don't worry, it
Was
is
I
coming.
invited?
You're not invited.
Did I get an invite?
Oh, guys, make sure. Make sure
didn't get the
invite
mail?
Ephraim.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm not
Anytime-
coming next
I'm
week.
gonna send you that.
Oh, you didn't perform.
So-
Maybe.
No, so now it's about
So we are-
performance.
so we are giving parties
so there's
according
gonna
to
be a party,
performance.
but you only invite the ones who perform. No. Let me tell you the truth. Yes.
Hey,
Honestly, if we're to look at these aspects of budgets and go companies, what, at the end of the day, you can't spend money you have not made. You cannot you spend money you have not made. So the whole point I'm trying to put forward is, at the end of the day, you as the person who's going to sit there and pull your face because you have not been invited or even told that there's going to be an end of your party, you cannot honestly, you need to self-assess. Did I do
no,
my
but
part?
also, again, as a company, you have those plans, you have those budgets designed specifically for certain things like that.
Okay, so are we talking about that we need to have staff parties to motivate people to work?
Exactly, it's one way of team
Okay,
building.
but let me ask you a question. Do you give your child things and to motivate them to perform in school? Or you tell them, perform in school, then I will give you X or Y?
If you're not,
By
if you're
them,
not, if you're
an
not boosting,
Oxford
no, we are no.
mathematical set.
No, there is the basic,
No, wait,
there is the
wait.
fundamental.
There's that one that do you know how we motivate them? We buy them nice grab. We make sure they're not starving. So that is
No,
one,
that is your fundamental responsibility as a parent.
Yes,
it's like you
it's
as an
one way of
employer,
motivating
you pay
them.
someone's salary on time. Don't they
Okay, so
give
if
you
you're not
medical
giving,
insurance?
okay, so if you're not giving people staff party, is there anything like a bonus on their salary?
That my point is, did they perform? Me, what I'm trying to say is that you need to get it out. Someone pays you your salary. That is enough. Yeah, take
I
it
love
and
how
say
they're
thank you,
squeezing
Jesus.
over this party thing
Thank
and
you,
you're
Jesus. I have a
allowing-
job. Instead of saying, "Go, me, I want to eat life."
But
On whose
okay,
budget?
so if your workplace is not throwing a end of year party, at least your friends should invite you. Some people should
theirs.
invite us
To
to
their
theirs.
staff
Yeah,
party.
to their
Man,
staff
yeah,
party.
I know.
We should come at
I
least.
know. We give
Yeah,
emotional support to
those
them.
things.
Hey.
Yeah, this is just like,
Ephraim, you did not get an
No, I didn't get
invitation.
one for
Your
real,
performance was
Yeah,
poor.
You say it on air, Bandang.
we
But,
have
I mean,
we have
so,
to
you
bring
know,
this
first of
conversation
all-
to a stop because we run out of time.
Before you bring it to a stop, I really
Yes.
would like to say, because this is my last show probably with you in 2024. Until I see you next year, maybe 2 weeks from now, I would like to appreciate you. I enjoy being here on the show with you, like
Yeah,
100%.
same.
We laugh so loud, like
I know.
That
first
is
of all,
equal to a staff
Play
party.
Black in Black was fantastic as well.
Thank you so much.
That was a nice show.
Thank you
We
so
didn't
much.
get time to actually appreciate him.
Oh
for the show.
yes, Playback
we-
in
we-
Black, DJ Penny. I
Pinheiro,
listened to
DJ
that.
Nicolas Pex,
Yo,
yo,
The
those
energy over
boys
there.
are
No,
something else.
they are really good. I told guys, I'm like, me, this event is for me.
No, literally,
you
Ephraim was
more-
dancing. Like me and Ephraim danced.
I'm like, y'all will be fine. Me, I'm like,
I'm enjoying my
yeah,
show.
me, I'm here for because I'm part of the organizing team. It's not necessarily my show, but I'm part of the team, and so I'm like, guys, the fundamentals have been taken care of. Logistics, you guys can continue working. I'm going to
Let
keep
me
you
ask you, we need another edition. People need to
Yeah.
experience this. It was a good show.
Yeah, yeah.
need
We're
another
gonna organize something very soon. We want to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, truly, yes, to say we're coming to the end of Kigali in the morning, short through the time for so many things that should have happened in this hour, but nevertheless, we had Living Entrepreneurship by Saudi today.
Living Entrepreneurship by Salty.